This podcast may contain adult themes and triggering topics. Please be kind to yourself if you get triggered by what we discuss.
Also, this isn't a substitute for therapy or counseling. Please listen to the appendix at the end for some of our recommendations for resources that will help you find a qualified mental health care provider.
Now, we take you to a time in the near future where emotional abuse has been appropriately deemed a crime, and the survivors find a home to reclaim their lives and freedom. This is Haven, and these are the stories of the Reclaimers.
Phoenix, is that you?
It's me.
Where's Phoenix?
He's in the transport. I told him I needed a minute with you.
Warren, this isn't...
Nope. Not gonna play it that way, kitten.
I've asked you many times to never call me that.
What? You can't handle remembering a time when you actually wanted me to call you that?
Why are you here?
Pheeny told me that you told him.
What?
He told me that you were worried that I was going to interfere with your trip this summer.
He said that?
Yes.
Okay, well, are you?
Am I what?
Are you going to interfere with the trip this summer?
No. And I think this is a clear violation of your court order.
How is it a violation?
You're separating him from me. You're making him think that I'm out to get you.
Warren, I will talk to him.
What about the court order?
I said I will talk with him.
Hopefully that's good enough. Your mom's waiting.
Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry again.
Yeah, sorry's just words, kid.
I'll fix it. I promise.
Guess we'll have to wait and see, huh? Bye, kitten. See ya, sport.
Mama.
Hey, baby.
Mama, you're upset.
What would I have to be upset about?
I didn't mean to say anything to him.
You can tell him things, Phoenix. He's your dad. I just want you to be careful about hearing people's thoughts, especially his.
I try so hard, Mama. I can't help it when people think things so loudly. I'm sorry.
Oh, Phoenix, my little 48-year-old.
Minus the 40, Mama.
Baby, you're still so young, and I know you can't help it. I just want you to be safe. And safe means not reading people, okay?
Yeah, I'll do better.
Tell you what, let's go inside and get you out of your uniform, and then we can go to the reading at the Smithsonian tonight.
We can?
Of course. And did I hear something about a hat trick from your VidCon?
I guess so.
Really? That's so incredible. I'm so proud of you, Phoenix. Well done.
Yeah, it was really great, and I was... Wait, Mama?
Yeah, baby?
Mama, why are you... I'm not... Mama, is everything okay?
Yes, baby. Things are better than ever.
But there's nothing... I can't... There's nothing... Are you sure? Better?
Yes, baby. This is better. Let's go. We don't want to be late. Fire up the speed, baby.
Yes, Mama.
He called her kitten?
Yes.
Did he call her that in real life, too, or just in the dream?
Well, that's the thing. I think the dream really happened.
So you were present for a conversation your parents had. What was the rest of the conversation besides him calling her kitten?
Well, I don't know.
That sharp pain we talked about a couple weeks ago is back.
Yes, it is.
We don't have to talk about that.
I have to.
All right. Let's address it.
Well, you block things outside this room for me, right?
I do, when you ask me to.
But you're an empath, too?
I get dampened emotions, like watercolor versions of broadcasts when I'm using my blocking.
Well, you're not blocking me. You're blocking what happens outside the room.
Yes, that seems to be how it works. Phoenix, is Jayne an empath?
No.
You know that for certain?
Yes.
How?
Well, I can't tell you that.
Can't? Or won't?
I can't. and won't. I need a chance to think.
You can have what you need.
No, I can't. I mean, things are... I feel like I can't even look at this.
All right. Let's go back to where you could look at things. You were talking about how I block things. Did you want to ask about the mechanics of the blocking?
I don't know how it's possible. I just know she somehow found a way to do it. One day, Mama Jayne just started blocking me. She blocked me. How is that possible?
And you're certain she wasn't a heightened empath?
Yep. I know that for certain, and I need you to trust me that I know it. Because that's the part I can't talk about.
Of course. We don't have to talk about anything.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how you run your sessions, Dr. Soleil, but I don't require survivors to apologize for having feelings.
Well said.
So, she blocked you, and you know she wasn't an empath. I imagine that was confusing and painful.
It was.
Huh. I'm now just realizing we've talked a lot about how Percy's nothing blocks affected you. Knowing this about Jayne blocking you, that must have made your experience with Percy all the more... How would you describe it?
Triggering?
The pain you're experiencing from the Percy blocks seems to be a little different. Do you want to tell me about that?
Well, the pain from Percy blocks, it feels like I felt responsible.
But with Jayne?
Maybe I felt responsible too? But Percy was just trying to protect me.
Have you asked Jayne why she blocked you?
No.
Could you? You've mentioned that you have a good relationship with her as an adult.
I do. And I know how rare that is. I feel bonded to her in healthy ways. She's a good support. And she's always been there whenever my dad...
He died your last year of college?
Yeah. Right after Percy got back from the encampment.
Oh, what a terrible time that must have been for you.
It was. And somehow I just kept on going.
I'm going to make a note of that somehow. I want to come back to that, okay?
Okay.
So Percy returns from the encampment. Did she block you right away?
No.
When did the blocking start?
Okay, well, I need to explain this. She never really blocked me. She just seemed to move all the events from the encampment to somewhere outside the auricular.
That's a form of blocking, though. You described it as hiding her pain.
Yes.
Oh, that brings tears to your eyes, Pheeny. Are you feeling that emotion?
I don't know what I feel when you say that.
Is it possible that Jayne was hiding her pain?
Oh, maybe?
I hear that, and I'm getting the confusion. Do you need a break?
No, I'm fine. Actually, yes. Maybe. I'm going to pace.
Good. I'm getting the bundle. Would you like to look at that, or some of it?
I don't know. Yes, I do. I know. I know that Jayne blocked me. I could feel it the moment it happened. And it hurt. It hurt so much.
How old were you?
8.
8? Phoenix, that's so young. To be able to read your mother completely one moment and the next, nothing?
I don't even know how she did it.
Oh, that pain is just staggering. How did you cope with that?
I told myself it was my fault. And I believed it, too. I still do.
Oh, Phoenix, I am so sorry that happened to you. That must have felt like such a deep betrayal.
Part of me wants to just bind this up in a bunch of tools to just lock it down quick so I don't have to feel it.
Oh, I can see why you'd feel that way.
But then another part of me is so relieved to tell someone, anyone, that it happened. I mean, that part wants to talk about it and think about it and look at it and examine it and just feel it. Oh, it feels like someone punched me right in the stomach and I can't breathe and I can't think and I can't see.
You can't see?
Oh, my father would use overwhelming emotion to try to get me to admit that I could read him. So I pretended to be in a sensory deprivation tank.
And that helped you cope with the overwhelming emotion?
Dissociation is critical to survivors of complex trauma.
Does that clinical filter help you approach this?
Maybe. A clinical usually precedes the onslaught of emotion for me. I guess. Yes, it helps me process things.
I trust you to know what healing path you need to follow here.
Thanks. I needed that trust. And the calm wave. Even while you're doing the blocks and reading me. Thank you.
Pheeny, how did you know what a sensory deprivation tank was?
The octopus at the aquarium.
They had the octopus in a...
No, but she... Don't think I'm crazy, okay?
I don't think that at all.
Well, she taught me that sometimes safety is found in detaching. She would detach when there were too many humans present.
I'm familiar with human-to-animal empathy, and I understand the mechanics of intellect bonding, but what you're talking about here is... It's deeply insightful, Pheeny.
I can't read animals. I just seem to have a special connection with her.
Did she have a name?
Red. They called her Red because of her ability to turn stark red against any backdrop. Unlike others of her species, she didn't try to hide. Instead, she tried to stand out.
Is that grief?
I guess I identified with her pretty early. And I really missed her after we stopped going.
Is she still around?
Well, her children are. Many of them. But they're all in the ocean, with the change to zoo laws just after the war and the release of all the animals.
That brings you joy.
The day they were freed, I knew her children would be happier out there instead of deprived here.
So you deprived yourself of all sensory experience to prevent your father from knowing you could read him, and your mother blocked you in an effort to hide her pain. No wonder you found solace in a rare and beautiful creature like Red.
I think I do need a break.
Of course. Of course. I've got some space on my schedule if you'd like to pick this up in another session between now and next week.
Wait. I think there's one thing I'm ready to resolve.
Yes?
My friendship with Percy.
Is this about how much Percy's blocks and Mama Jayne's blocks have in common?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Percy and I were chatting with Topher about agendas, and he said that he worried about feeling fatherly toward Percy and I because his desire to do so might be self-serving. I'm ready to confront a self-serving agenda I have.
Frame it for me. Tell me more.
What if I've only ever wanted to be friends with Percy because it was a recreation of being blocked by Mama Jayne?
You're concerned that your connection to Percy is only based on the trauma?
I guess that's what I'm asking. I feel foggy when I go near it.
All right, how about a few scaffolding questions?
Okay, yes, that would work.
You were friends with her before the blocks?
Yes, we met a couple of years before the blocks were even involved.
And did you know she would block you eventually? Did you suspect that was a risk at all?
Oh no, I couldn't have known that.
What are the elements that make it a good friendship?
We support each other. We may challenge and push each other, but we want what's best for each other. We laugh together. We work well together.
So there are connections between you that don't revolve around her lowering her blocks?
That's true. Yes. I can see how there's more to this than just recreation.
And some recreation might not be a bad thing. Is Percy a replacement?
Well, maybe she's a bit of a replacement for Mama Jayne.
If you feel supported by her, if you feel warmth and openness from her, Is that confusion I'm getting?
Yeah. I feel foggier, if that's even possible.
All right. Your needs are honored here, Pheeny. Let's take that break. Let you rest?
Yeah. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Take care, Pheeny.
Oh, do you think there will ever be a time when I won't worry about him?
You've been a mother longer than I have. You tell me.
I just wish I knew he was safe.
Are we still talking about Gershwin?
You're right, we're not. Maybe I worry about them both. They both need safety.
You need safety too, Kari.
I'm fine. I have you. I have them.
They have you.
He won't let me take care of him.
Now I know we're not talking about Gershwin.
Gershwin sleeps at night.
Do you sleep at night?
You keep trying to get me to talk about myself.
Ben has an advocate of his own.
I know.
Talking about Ben feels safer than admitting the fear. What's the fear about?
It would be easier if you'd just tell me.
I can read your thoughts. I can't read your unconscious intentions. Only you can uncover those.
All right, I accept that. I wish I could evaluate my fear from outside my head.
What makes you say that?
Sometimes it feels like the fear takes up more of my brain than I do.
Oh, Kari, I'm getting that fear. Constricting. It feels like you tell me.
Look at him. Gershie's so beautiful. I never thought I could give birth to something that beautiful. And then I let him down. I didn't protect him.
That's true. You couldn't protect him.
I heard that.
Heard what?
You said couldn't.
If you could have protected him, would you have?
Well, I could have protected him by choosing to leave.
Wartime rules.
What?
I had a mentor who was a brilliant researcher. They studied soldiers who returned from the war, and their team found that the soldiers would judge their wartime behavior against their peacetime rules.
What does that mean?
A soldier in war has certain rules they have to live by, rules that help them survive. But when they return home, when it's peacetime, those rules don't apply anymore.
Okay. What does that have to do with Gershie?
You lived in wartime rules when you were married to your abuser.
Oh.
And now that you're in peacetime, you're expecting your past self to have lived as if you were in peacetime during the abuse.
I guess I am. I hadn't thought of it that way.
You are so gifted at having compassion for everyone else in your life, Kari.
I think I have good people in my life who deserve compassion.
Good people deserve compassion.
Okay. Right. Compassion.
Tell me this. Does Gershwin deserve compassion?
Of course.
And when you're not around, do you want him to be compassionate with himself?
Absolutely.
How will he learn how to be compassionate with himself unless you show him?
Oh. I don't even know where to begin to feel compassion for myself. It feels so big, like this huge internal thing I can't quite figure out how to make happen.
I love that you just said that.
Said what?
That you're not sure where to start. It says that you plan to start. That's encouraging.
Okay. Thanks. But how? How do I do it?
Fantastic question. How do you think you might teach Gershwin to have compassion for himself?
I guess I would try him. I mean, I could. Percy, I don't know. I really don't.
What if we use a tool?
Okay. Sure.
I'm thinking of a few. Fantasy?
Fantasy can help with this?
Yes. Fantasy is all about using your imagination to give you what you want.
Okay, but imagination is for play. This is reality.
Yes. Play is a vital part of reality. Not just to give your brain some rest, but also to help your brain invent a vision of what's possible. If you've never spoken compassionately to yourself, how can you possibly know what that even looks like?
Right. Yes, I feel that.
The fantasy tool uses your imagination to envision what it might be like. Let's try it. Imagine that it's a year in the future, and you're speaking to yourself confidently and with compassion.
It That's a beautiful thought.
I agree. So you can imagine that?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels contented. I feel at peace.
I'm getting that peace. Even though the vision is imaginary, the feelings are real.
Wow, I guess they are.
Stay with those feelings. Let's ask what things you say to yourself to get feelings like that.
I mean, I guess I say things like, I feel peaceful.
Yes,
But
that's compassionate self-talk.
it is? I thought talking compassionately to myself meant I had to say nice things or compliment myself or something.
Those are good things too. And what you just identified is a dimension of compassion we don't often consider. Talking to yourself just like how you speak to Gershwin when he's hurt or wounded. Well, you tell me, how would that help?
It gets me thinking about what I need.
What else?
Kind of hard to shame myself when I'm thinking about what I need.
Right. I suspect that the fear you mentioned earlier has some foundations in that shame. Would you agree or disagree?
I'd agree.
And what makes you say that?
I guess I always thought of shame as a feeling that... I mean, it hurts to be ashamed. But I guess I always thought of it as this necessary feeling.
Necessary.
Yeah, like I did something wrong, so I should feel ashamed.
So feeling shame means you've done something wrong?
Maybe? Wait. Do you think my abuser manipulated that? Tried to make me feel shame so I'd feel like I'd done something wrong?
You tell me.
Maybe? Yes. I think that's what he did.
How does that tie into the fear?
Oh my goodness, he wanted me to feel scared of doing something wrong.
And why did he want that?
So I'd feel ashamed and want to make it up to him.
Right. Kari, tell me about that bundle. I'm getting all of that. Let's untangle it together.
Now that he's gone, when I feel ashamed, I think I'm doing something wrong or that something is going to go wrong. I'm still waiting for the wrong to mean that I deserve what he does.
And what's that next thought?
I didn't deserve it.
That's compassionate self-talk. Will you say it again?
I don't know if I really believe it.
You can't learn to believe it until you say it. Saying it helps you practice believing it.
Okay, then. I didn't deserve what he did to me.
That's incredible. Will you say it again?
I didn't deserve it. I never deserved it. No one deserves that.
No one.
I didn't deserve it.
I'm getting that. Tell me that thought.
Ben didn't deserve it either.
And?
Gershwin.
He didn't deserve what your abuser did to either of you.
Yeah.
Who's responsible for the abuse?
I want to say that I am, but even if I don't believe it, right?
That's how the tool works its magic for you.
The abuse wasn't my fault.
Yes. Kari, I'm so fiercely impressed with the work you've done to get here.
You use compassionate talk with me, don't you?
Yes. I want to set an example of how to do it. And I really do believe it. You didn't deserve it. And it wasn't your fault.
It's going to take some getting used to.
Would you like to make that your focus for the next week?
Yeah. Yes, I would. I want to set an example for Gershwin. And for Ben.
I think that's a great idea. How's the fear?
Not gone, but not as bad.
I think that's a solid start.
Thank you. Same time on Thursday?
Percy?
Oh, hey, Truman. I didn't even see you back there. Kari, have you met Truman?
No, I've only seen his name all over the arboretums. How's that giant oak on the south side faring?
It's good. I've seen your name, too. You're the one with the anemones. The white ones, right? They're stunning.
Oh, that's so kind, thank you. What are you working on here?
Well, this London plane tree is a transplant, and it needs some diversion.
Like, moving it?
Oh, no, a diversion like fun. My brother tells me I'm weird for trying to use psychology on trees.
No, I love it. Trees are living beings. They deserve our best efforts. I sing to my flowers.
See? I'm not weird. Take that, Frankie.
Who's Frankie?
My brother.
Oh, yeah, I understand the brother thing. And I don't think it's weird at all to treat plants with kindness. So what kind of diversion?
I thought maybe some succulents in the near vicinity. Something for the big guy to look at while it grows.
Do you want some help?
Really? Yeah, I'd love the company.
I'll leave you both to it, then.
What's the matter, Percy? Don't like gardening?
Oh, it's more that gardening doesn't like me. I'm the worst at it, and not in the good way.
Wait, what? The worst?
Just a stupid joke we created to cope with the inquiry.
I see. Want to tell me about it?
Sounds like the succulents will get to hear a story. Yay! I hope they don't get too bored.
You're a punk.
I'm sure we'll all be on the edge of our seats. And I happen to know that succulents love stories. See you later, Percy.
Bye. Hey, it's Percy and Pheeny here. What you've just heard is a work of fiction, but we know that many listeners are living in a world of pain that isn't fictional at all.
At the end of every episode, we're going to include an appendix of sorts. Some things we hope will serve those who live with the reality of fear and pain every day.
First, we want to let you know about our website, www.empowering.tools, where we keep an ongoing list of books, websites, hotlines, and many other resources for victims and survivors of toxic relationships.
Second, we love to hear from you. If you'd like to share your story with us or let us know how the episode impacted you, we'd love for you to reach out. These are deeply emotional things, and we want to give you a chance to share. We're a small team, so an in-depth response isn't always possible, but we do read every message we receive.
Third, if you're in crisis or you need to find an immediate way out, please call 800-799-7233 for the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. If your abuser is a parent or a non-romantic relationship, there are other resources we've listed on the website that are just for you.
A reminder, emotional violence is still violence. You don't need to have bruises on your body to deserve help, and it's okay to feel what you're feeling when you call.
Fourth, be safe. For some, getting out will take planning and time. If you know you need help, do what you need in order to safely get away.
Lastly, we know how difficult it can be to believe there's hope on the other side of a toxic relationship.
Many on our team know the devastatingly difficult steps it takes to get away from an abusive predator.
But there is hope. You don't have to do it alone. If you don't have supportive family or friends, you can still find support at the hotlines we mentioned earlier or at a local hospital or shelter.
Thousands of survivors have made it out. Getting out and reclaiming your freedom can be your story.
We believe in you.
We believe in your future.
And we believe in your right to that freedom.